If you've been trying to make some extra money on Depop, but for some reason you haven't been able to make any sales, trust me, I know how it feels. I was in your shoes not too long ago, but by the end of this video, you're gonna have the exact steps you need in order to sell out your entire closet. Make some extra cash. Let's get into it. Step 1 is to prepare all the clothes you want to sell and set up for shooting. Having high quality photos of your clothes is one of the most important steps when selling out your clothing on Depop. All you need is an iPhone, some natural light, and some good angles, and trust me, you will make your clothes stand out compared to everybody else's on Depop. Alright, so I just use my iPhone to shoot my clothing, nothing special, and then for lighting, I always like to make sure that I'm standing in front of a window to where my face is facing the window. So I just grab my phone and I literally just will prop it like this. And I just set the timer to 10 seconds and I will just take a bunch of photos. So it's really that simple, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I do it right now. I like to take 2 different types of product photos for my clothing. The first one is the clothes just on a hanger, and I put the hanger on a white background like this, and then I'll take some shots of the front, the back, and any type of details. And as a buyer, you want to have as much information as you can on how this item is going to look like on your body. So I think it's super important. Like, I think it's a game changer to take photos of your items on your actual body. I see a lot of people just taking photos of their clothing on the floor or on a hanger, which is great, but I think if you want to take it an extra step and make sure that your clothing sells out, you want to also model your clothing. For any clothes that are wrinkled or maybe have like little imperfections, I like to go over them with a lint roller or an iron. You just have to keep in mind, like, as if you were the buyer. If you're online shopping and you see something, like, even though you know that it just needs to get ironed and you know it's not like an imperfection, like it's not an ink stain, people still want to see like a perfect item because they're going to choose a perfect item over a non-perfect item. So it's just in your favor to showcase the product as nice as you can. These are just the little details that go from having a product sitting online for weeks and months versus uploading your products and having them sell out within a week or 2. Also, one more thing you want to keep in mind is clothing is very seasonal. So if you are selling a bunch of tank tops and shorts, but it's wintertime, you're probably not going to get as many sales as you would if you would sell that stuff in the spring or the summer. So, and vice versa, if you're selling big fur coats, they're most likely going to sell more towards like fall, winter, versus if you're trying to sell that stuff in the summer. Really never know. Like, I still say upload everything. I'm just saying if you can look at your clothing seasonally as well, then that will also help with sales. Because most likely people buy clothing either seasonally or when things are trending. So these are just little things to keep in mind. Okay, so we just finished taking photos of all our clothing, and step 3 of the process is to upload everything on Depop. This step right here is where it's either going to make or break whether your clothes sell or not, because we are dealing with SEO and you want to make sure that your product is as searchable as possible. I'm going to show you exactly how I upload my products and what I write in order to sell them out fast. So I have this Ann Taylor cashmere sweater, and again, as you can see, I'm cropping it so that you can really see. So I'm cropping it to make sure that the product is standing out. And I also have 8 really good images. I have it on the hanger, I have it on my body. I like to make sure the first image is the clothing on my body, and then the next one is the clothing on the hanger, because I just think it looks a lot more flattering when the item is on you. Down here I have my description. It's a cream cashmere sweater, and then I put cutest cashmere quarter sleeve top with bow detail. So I'm adding a lot of keywords in here in case anybody's searching for any of this. Size small, I have the brand, and I have that it's 100% cashmere, the material, and that there is no pilling involved. Women's tops, I put it under sweaters. So occasion, it can be, again, let's say winter, maybe holiday, and just casual. I have the material is cashmere, body fit, petite, and tailor used. It's in excellent condition. And then I have a size small, the color cream and white, source, I'll put pre-loved, age, maybe like 90s. And then for style, I put minimalist, preppy, and coquette. And then again, down here, after you put the parcel size, you have a bunch of other sweaters that are probably cashmere as well. And you see all the price ranges. So again, I'm putting mine for 25. That way, if somebody offers me 22 or 20 or maybe even 18, I will still, go for it. But here is the product. Accidentally went backwards, but here is my product listed. Hello guys, so quick editor's note because I totally forgot to mention this and it is super important. If your article of clothing does not have a brand name or the brand of your clothing is not listed in the Depop brand list, I would still recommend adding a similar brand to the one that represents your article of clothing. There is an option to put other if your clothing brand is not listed. However, I used to do this and it's a huge mistake. Your item will be so much more searchable if you give it a brand name that's listed in Depop's list. So I would just pick something similar to where you think that that article of clothing could be sold at. And then in the bio or in the description, you can just make a note like it's actually this brand so that people don't get upset once they receive the item. But I've never had any issues with that. But yes, this is like key, super important. Make sure you put a brand name that's listed in the Depop list. Peace. If you've listened to everything I've said and follow the instructions carefully, you should be getting a lot of likes on your photos and people potentially sending you offers. So the last but not least step number 4, is to just be active on your Depop. You just want to make sure you're on top of everything. If people are sending offers, you want to make sure you're either countering or you're accepting them. If they're sending messages, you need to be responsive. Also, as soon as someone purchases something, you want to ship as fast as possible to get a good review in order to make more sales. So my tip on sending offers is to set your price a little bit higher so that when people are sending you offers, you don't feel like they're lowballing. Instead, they're sending you it in the exact price that you actually wanted. So I will always like to list the product a little bit higher than what I want to sell so that when we're starting to negotiate, it kind of falls into that price range where I actually feel comfortable selling the product. In the previous 12 months, I've made $979, about to be $1,000 for the year, and the year isn't even over yet, so I will probably make a little bit over $1,000 this year on Depop, which is really cool. It's obviously not a full-time job, but it's just like a fun way to make some side income. And if you're somebody who's into fashion and you have like maybe a high turnover rate for your clothing, which I know I am, this is a really great resource to just get a little bit of money back for the clothes that you've purchased. Even if it's like 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks, it's not a lot, but it adds up. This is my account. Follow me on Depop. My name on here is Lotus Baby, and I've sold 56 things with a perfect 5-star rating, 7 reviews. I've actually never read these reviews. So yeah, everybody loves me. What can I say? Everyone loves your girl. I'll see you in Depop land, guys. Bye. Bye. Make sure you like and subscribe.